The Chinese regime has formally recognized the Libyan rebel group, the National Transitional Council, as Libya's ruling authority. It ends weeks of uncertainty over whether Chinese authorities would officially acknowledge the opposition leaders to former dictator Muammar Gaddafi's forces.
The Chinese Foreign Ministry officially acknowledged the National Transitional Council, or NTC, as Libya's ruling authority on Tuesday. The announcement ends any doubts the Chinese regime would acknowledge the opposition leaders to Muammar Gaddafi's forces, which the Chinese regime had previously supported.
The Chinese regime supports the Libyan people's decision and also recognizes the National Transitional Council as Libya's ruling authority and the representative of the country's people.
Speaking at a press conference, Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Jiang Yu said the NTC has promised to respect the Chinese regime's interests.
The Council expressed that it will firmly pursue a One China policy and said it will earnestly abide by past treaties and agreements. We agree with this position.
The Chinese regime has actively participated in the United Nations on the matter of frozen assets owned by Gaddafi's administration, agreeing with other nations to unfreeze $15 billion of Libyan assets abroad. But the regime is against handing over more funds to the interim ruling council. China is one of the few countries to hold back on recognition of the Libyan rebel leaders. The discovery that Chinese state-owned arm companies had been negotiating weapons sales with Gaddafi's administration has strained the Chinese regime's interactions with the NTC. The Chinese regime is the last member of the UN Security Council to recognize the NTC. China is a major investor in Libya, 26 Chinese companies worth $20 billion. China remains the world's second biggest oil consumer. Last year, 3% of its imported crude oil came from Libya.